is time. It is time to brew your best beer.
The 2020 SJPorr Challenge Gold sponsors Bouncer. A special thanks to double gold sponsor Bouncer, keeping the dregs out with an inline filter for homebrewers, keeping you homebrewers organized on a brew day with Boil Bro, and keeping beer fun with the Growler Bro mini beer flavor infusers. BrewTubers, online brewers club, forums, recipes, articles, new updates, brewing tools, and more. Yakima Valley Hops, fresh from the source to your kettle, supplying hops for homebrewers and the craft beer industry. Omega Yeast Labs, fresh, healthy, unique, pitch-ready liquid yeast for pro brewers and homebrewers. Jaded Brewing, home of the fastest immersion wort chiller, the Hydra, and other brewing supplies. Brady Instruments, supplying the world with high-quality, hand-blown, handcrafted, scientific instruments like the SJPorr Challenge Hydrometer Trophy.
Hey, what's up? You know what time it is. It is time for the SJPorr Challenge 2020 Round 2. Now, as I've mentioned, I didn't have to sit in. This is the first one I'm doing. I didn't have to sit in on round 1, but from what I heard, there was some damn good beers that went through in the second round, and I'm excited. What I'm going to review today is, this is Juliet 76 RD2 74 Papa. That is a blonde ale with Moscow. It's Moscow Mule inspired. Don't know what Moscow Mule is. The adjuncts is ginger, and the 3 required hops is Sriracha Ace, Cashmere, and Mochueca. I've had all 3. Sriracha Ace, I'm trying to remember. I might have used that when we did a collaboration beer a while back, Goze Cuervo. Maybe we didn't use, I don't know, maybe we did. Can't remember. But anyway, from what I remember from Sriracha Ace, it's like dill pickle. So should be an interesting, tangy presence out of this. This is an ABV of 6.4%. And like I said, I have no idea who it is. I like the label. It's got the SJPorr Challenge logo. It's got all the required info. Nice job. All right, let's go ahead and crack into this thing. Blonde ales. I love blonde ales. Blonde ales, gold ales. That's kind of like the gateway beer to bring people over into craft beer. Never met a blonde ale that I didn't like. And I'll stop it there. Nah, it's pretty clear. I don't think there's any stuff to put in. This is whoever took great care with this one. So this one's got about a finger head. It's persistent. It's not going anywhere. It's got about, medium carbonation. Looks like streaming up. It's pretty clear. Just really clear actually. It was clear in the bottle too. So I would say just about brilliant clarity. I mean, you can see my glasses through this. So and I can start to already smell it. So let's go. It's a very pretty beer. The foam isn't quite as big as some, but that's not a big deal. It's like it's nice and sticking on the glass there. Well, that's kind of cool. All right, let's go ahead and get an aroma. Yeah, I get that tropical. So Mochueca is a cool yeast, but Sriracha Ace is like dominant. I get 2 things. I get the ginger. Definitely get the ginger. I get kind of hints of the Sriracha Ace, that kind of, like I said, that tangy dill pickle kind of thing going on. Mochueca, I think is, I think it can give you a lime kind of quality too. It's really interesting, the ginger with the Mochueca and the Sriracha Ace. And what was the third hop? Oh, Cashmere. I've only had that once in a hop experiment, but it's kind of hard to pick that one out of a lineup because it was a double IPA. Go figure. That was a hop experiment that I ran. But from what I remember, Cashmere's kind of got a smooth floral, if I remember right. But yeah, it's got a really nice aroma. Good appearance, good aroma. It's gonna be a good round. All right, let's go ahead and go in for the taste. Cheers. Cheers to the brewer. Okay, so start off with a mouthfeel on this one. It has low, I would say, carb. Low, medium, low. It's on the lower. It's on the lower end. It's almost too low. It's got about a kind of lower end of medium mouthfeel. It's not a low mouthfeel, but it's a, probably about where it should be for a blonde ale. Carbonation is a bit low, and I don't think it was, from foaming it up too much, because like I said, I poured it pretty gently, so I didn't lose a lot in terms of carbonation. Still see some carbonation coming up, but yeah. As far as the flavor, there is a little bit of bitterness on the back end. I think that's the hops. Not sure if they put them in order, if Sriracha Ace was the bittering hop, but I do get a little bit of the bittering. It's, it's fine. It's not, it's a little bit higher than normal for a blonde ale, I think, but it's fine. I definitely get the tropical qualities that you get normally from Mochueka, definitely, and certainly from the Sriracha Ace. Cashmere, again, it's like smooth floral on the aroma. I'm not sure I'm supposed to get on the taste on that one. So I would assume that one was probably, the aroma. But the ginger is like very pronounced, like very, very pronounced. I would almost say it's a bit over pronounced. Yeah. It's really good, like the first sip, pretty good the second sip. The third sip, it starts to get to be a bit much. It's a really great beer. It's very, as far as brewmanship, it's, I can tell that, the brewer knows what they're doing. It's a very clean, there's not a lot of sloppiness in it. It's a very clean beer, so you can tell that the brewer, took their time with the brewing process. I think they were a little bit low on the carbonation. The fermentation was extremely clean. There's no, fermentation. So when I say you can't taste the fermentation, a lot of times you get the really yeasty characters. Where sometimes you'll get in home brews, you'll get the Band-Aid, the effervescent, ever-present Band-Aid flavor. You don't get that in this. It's super clean, which I like. But I think the ginger was a bit overdone. Would be my only complaint with this one. If you could rebrew this and I would say tap down the ginger just a bit. If you make it onto the third round and you need to brew another batch of this, I would say tap down a little bit on the ginger and use it more as like a kind of a backdrop. It's got to be noticeable. This is very noticeable. This is it's almost too noticeable. Like I said, I could smell it as soon as I cracked the top, and I definitely got it, in your face when I tasted it. But all that said, this is a really, really good beer. Very, very happy with it. Yeah, great job. Man, this is a good way to start off the 2020 SJPorr Challenge. Thanks to the brewer, and good luck going on to the next round. Cheers. So this is beer 2 from the 2020 SJPorr Challenge round 2. This one here is ID number Golf 24 Romeo Delta 2, and it says 1 on the label, but it's actually 2, and then 5-2 Mike. Beer style is a English rye IPA, and the adjuncts are flaked rye, and the hops are Southern Star. I've never had that before. Chinook, I've definitely had that before, and Fuggles, I've had a bunch of that, especially with ESBs. So let's go ahead and, here's the label. Nice job on the label. You got the SJPorr Challenge symbol, and yeah, there you go. All right, let's crack it. This is a 7%er, I believe, and I don't think the IBUs are on here. It was not required to be on the label. All right, stop it right there. I saw a little bit of stuff. Yeah, there's some stuff in the bottom, so I'm not sure if it's bottle condition or not. All right, got a nice head on it. It is, let's see, two finger head, persistent. It's got great clarity. Actually, no, it doesn't have great clarity. It's got some chill haze. Probably just chill haze though. Actually, it's not. Yeah, I would say that's chill haze. It's, you know, it's fairly clear. I can see the bubbles rising up through it. Probably can't see from that angle, but it looks like to be chill haze. Okay, so yeah, it's a decent looking beer. Actually, I'm kind of appreciating the head a little bit more because it's one of those heads where you get the different size bubbles, which always eludes me. I can never get that. I always get the creamy kind of almost like a nitro stout kind of head on mine. I don't know how you guys do that with the different size bubbles, but really nice head. Good job. All right, let's get the aroma. Got my nose in there. Ooh, see that? Yeah. Surprisingly, I don't get anything on the aroma. I'm not sick or anything. And it doesn't surprise me. Chinook's not really much of a aroma unless you put it in as a dry hop. Any alpha acid, high alpha acid you put in as a dry hop, it kind of gives you that cat piss kind of dankness. But I'm not getting that. I'm not getting the noble hop quality of the Fuggles, or the floral quality. I mean, of the Fuggles and the Southern Star. I'm not familiar with Southern Star. I might get kind of a slight citrus smell to this if I really think about it, but it doesn't smell like like an IPA. So, okay, so done the appearance, done the aroma. Let's go in for the taste. Cheers to the brewer. I'll admit I'm not very familiar with rye. I mean, I've had rye IPAs. I've had different types of red rye IPAs. You know, I've had some stuff with rye in it before. Rye saison, I want to say. All right, let me break this down. Okay, carbonation's perfect. Mouthfeel, I think, is pretty decent for an IPA. It's about medium mouthfeel. It's about where it needs to be. Kind of creamy because the carbonation kind of creams up in your mouth. It's really kind of nice. I kind of like that. I'm getting some slight off flavor, I would say. And that it could be rye. It could be just because I'm not familiar with rye. If I had to describe it, and I want to I'm going to use my words because that's, I'm obviously not a BJCP judge, but I can describe what my senses are. I would almost call it like a leather soapy kind of quality. The bitterness kind of hits me on the back end, a bit harsh. The leathery soapy quality, I think I like saddle soap. I don't know, that's kind of weird, but that's the only way I can describe it. It finishes extremely dry, first of all. I think the mouthfeel is really good. The mouthfeel is like perfect for an IPA. The flavor, on the other hand, something about that, maybe it's the rye in here. You definitely notice it. I think the problem might be that there's not enough of the base malts to back it up. I'm not sure how much flaked rye that you put in here. That's probably what's causing a bit of the chill haze, some of the proteins that are in there. I mean, it's pretty clear, even though it's got flake stuff in it. But it's almost, I don't know if it's a flaked rye. I don't know if it's something else. I don't know what yeast you used on this, but something's giving it like a slight kind of soapy and kind of leathery kind of quality. Not leather as an imperial stout, which you kind of want in a those bourbon barrel imperial stouts, but but a kind of a strange kind of leathery quality. It's not like the normal fermentation flaw when you get like Band-Aid. It's a little different. So that's why I'm thinking it may be the rye in here. Maybe it's just my perception and I'm not used to, you know, a whole lot of rye. Knowing that, I don't think I would want a beer with a whole bunch of rye in it. Maybe I'm not a big fan of rye beers, and that definitely could be it. Only other ryes I've had, I think I've had a red rye IPA that SJ did, but it had some good backup malts to it that kind of carried it with sweetness and some character. This one I think it doesn't have that, so it kind of really pulls through a little bit, almost too much, if I would say. The other thing is the aroma. It doesn't really, and that could be the hop choice. I mean, I don't know anything about Southern Cross. Is that what it is? I don't know anything about or Southern Star. This is an English rye IPA, so maybe it's not. I mean, the Fuggles should give it. I guess it's got a little bit of the. Now that the head's burned off, I can maybe get a little bit of the floral, but it's not very pronounced. So yeah, I mean, it's a good beer. It's not my favorite of the two I've had so far. I think the rye might be kind of hurting it just a tad. Yeah, but everything else, I mean, I can tell it was brewed really well. It's nice, it's clean. Mouthfeel's like perfect. You got great, like a sticky head on it that does nice things for the lacing. So appearance wise, this thing is rocking. It's just the aroma's not there for an IPA, and you kind of an IPA. One of the things you look forward to is kind of the nice aroma. It's not really present on this one. I mean, even for an English IPA, and that soapy, leathery thing going on is kind of a little bit kind of strange for me. So that said, it's good beer. Thank you for the brewer. Good luck in the round, and hope you move forward. And yeah, cheers. Thanks for entering the competition. Cheers. Second beer, actually third beer in the 2020 SJPorr Challenge. Round 2. This is ID number Charlie 56 Romeo Delta 2. It's marked 1, but it's actually 2-79 Tango. This is an American IPA. The adjuncts are oats and lactose. The hops are Chinook, Hallertauer, Mosaic, Sapphire, and Citra. So 4 hops. Oh, thought we were 3 hops. ABV is 5%. I've had a day where this is the label. If you can read that, sorry, a little bit brighter than I intended. I've had a hell of a day, and American IPA is exactly what it calls for. So, all right, big hiss. Got some foam popping up already. Looks like a nice looking beer. No problems with head retention on this one. I'll stop right there. It's kind of crazy. Lot of carbonation coming up on that one. That's a pretty beer, pretty clear. I would hazard to say they use some gelatin on this thing. Doubt you could get it that clear without gelatin, but who knows? Maybe. I can never do it. Man, this looks like a lot like one of my IPAs. Tightly packed bubbles, very persistent head, a lot of carbonation on this thing. Just from a visual, it's got a kind of a dark gold, kind of a burnt orange. Not really burnt orange, maybe not that dark. Maybe just a very light amber / dark gold straw color. Beautiful beer. This is like, I don't think it gets any better than this in terms of a visual. So great appearance on this thing. I'm gonna talk about this beer for a minute, I think, before I try to, because I'll go in for aroma. Let's see, did I use the right? No, I got my hop glass here, but this is Admiral. There is no Admiral in this. I think I have a Chinook in there. I should have looked at it before I poured it. All right, let's get a nose on this thing, see if I can smell anything. Oh yeah. So it's lactose and flaked oats. Flaked oats, really? No, oats. I'm assuming that's flaked oats. I don't know how you got it this clear with oats in it. That is ridiculous. But, you know, I'm expecting I'm going to get some kind of very slick kind of mouthfeel on this thing. On the nose, I can get the Citra. I can usually pick Citra out of a lineup. I don't know enough about Mosaic to really pick Mosaic up. I do kind of get the slight noble, and that's probably from the Hollow Tower, and don't know what Sapphire is. I've never used that before. I would imagine the Chinook is just a bittering, but try to work up the aroma on this one. I think I get a slight melon on the nose. So the aroma's not as prominent normally as an IPA is, but again, I got the stick head. Maybe it'll, I'll get some more once I kind of break through the head and do a taste. So anyway, cheers to the brewer. Let's get a taste. Get a little bit more of the aroma. This is my kind of IPA, and it's only 5%. It's got a The lactose probably brings a little bit of that bittering, the sweetness, because 5%, I don't normally get this kind of residual sweetness on a 5%, so I definitely perceive the lactose that's in this, because it's given a little bit of residual sweetness, which you wouldn't expect from a 5% IPA. I guess the only other way they could have gotten this kind of sweetness out of a 5% IPA was if it didn't finish as low as normal, like if it stalled out at 1019 or 1020 or maybe higher. I don't think that's what happened. I think you probably had some residual gravity, but it was because of the lactose, and that's probably what's given it the kind of the nice, kind of sweet complement to the malt, because there's a plenty amount of bitterness in this thing. He doesn't have the bitterness on here, but if I was to guess, I would say it's somewhere 50, 60 IBUs maybe. Bitterness is up there for a regular IPA, 5%. A little bit more probably than you want. So if I had to knock it on anything, I think the bittering maybe is a little bit too heavy-handed on the Chinook, but certainly not off-putting to me. I mean, I like big bitter IPA bombs, and I can pour this all in there. There's really nothing in there. So yeah, I'm digging this. This is good. Man, look at that head retention on there. That's probably the oats too, giving it that great head retention. Maybe put some carapils in there too. It's very clean in terms of fermentation. There's no off flavors or anything like that. Like I said, the only thing I would knock this on is the bittering is just a bit high. Other than that, this is a freaking terrific beer. Yeah, I guess two things I would knock this thing on. One is the bitterness is a little much, and it gets more as you drink it. And then the next one is, what was my second thought on that? The aroma. The aroma is not quite as pronounced as I would want for an IPA, but it's there. It's probably this, maybe that I don't recognize the Sapphire, if that's what it's called, the hop Sapphire. But I definitely get the Citra. Like I said, it's a melon kind of quality. Overall, man, the craftsmanship on this beer is, I mean, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. I love me, if you know me, I love me a clear beer. I love doing this. You can see my baby stubble through this thing. And that's what this is. The head retention on this is ridiculous. It's off the chart on appearance. It's it's kind of below average on aroma. I would say on overall craftsmanship, really good minus the bittering. You kind of missed the mark there on that one. But man, this is a contender. This is a really good beer. So cheers to the brewer. Hope you move on to the next round. If you do and you rebrew, because it's an IPA, and you probably would, which I think you've got a strong chance of moving through with this quality of a beer. Tap down the bitterness, the bitterness a little bit. This video probably won't get to you in time to help you out for your rebrew. So I apologize if you didn't do a rebrew, or if you did a rebrew and kept the bitterness the same. But I would tamp it down just a little bit. So anyway, man, yeah, I hope that this beer makes it to the final round, and I hope I'm in the final round with it. Again, this is my third beer. I got 4 more to go. 4 more to go, I think. All right, cheers. Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, this is my 4th beer. I have to change the shirt if I do another one, so you won't think I did them all on the same night. But of the SJPorr Challenge 2020 Round 2, this is ID number Bravo 28, Romeo Delta 2, 17 Sierra. This is a New England IPA. It's got flaked oaks, tangelo, and pineapple as the adjuncts. For hops, it's got CTZ at 60 minutes, Amarillo at 10 minutes. That's cool to put the times on here. Strata in the Whirlpool and dry hop, and HBC 431 in the Whirlpool and dry hop. So 4 total hops. ABV is 7%, and I'm really excited about this. All right, let's get a pour. Don't have to be careful with this one because it's a New England IPA, and you don't really care if it's cloudy. But I don't want to get too big of a head on it, so I won't go all crazy. Saw something go in there. Piece of something went in there. All right, that is a beautiful New England IPA. That's exactly what it wants to look like. I can never get mine to look that milky and light. There's no lactose in this. Flaked oats, I would imagine there's a lot of it. Tangelo, which I love tangelos, and pineapple. Yeah, CTZ and Amarillo. Man, you just can't go wrong with any of these hops. The appearance is amazing. It's off the chart. It's good. Beautiful head, some finger head, very, very cloudy head with the different sized bubbles, kind of creamy at the same time, which is cool. The appearance is very, very light straw color, which with cloudy, kind of that milky color that you get in, only times I've seen, a commercial or a homebrewed New England IPA with this kind of color is, I think the Treehouse that Exit 12 sent me, and probably some Trilliums they sent me too. You don't normally see this kind of really cool, light, soft, yellow color in a homebrew. Usually ours are like murky with stuff floating around. That's not what this is. So let's go in for the aroma. Aroma is off the chart. Aroma is just a big smack of fruit in your face, which, again, that's what you want in a New England IPA. I get citrus. I get the pineapple. Now that I'm thinking about it, I can smell the orange, the tangelos. And you name your pick of the hops I'm getting. Yeah, this is really nice. Was there a 60-minute edition in there? Again, yeah, I think you said it. Yeah, CTZ at 60 minutes. So that was your bittering hop. Wow, and then everything else got freaking hammered in at 10 minutes, and then Whirlpool and dry hop, and you can tell this is very good aroma on this thing. So, all right, let's go ahead for a taste. Cheers. I like it. I like it a lot. I just wish it was a little, man. It's got everything rocking. The mouthfeel has got, got the soft, creamy mouthfeel you would expect in a New England IPA. just missing a touch of sweetness. And I think this is something that I normally kind of pick up on, so maybe it's just a Deanism, but I want my New England IPAs to have just a tad more sweetness to them. But it's okay. So bitterness is like I said, mouthfeels. It's really nice. Perfect carb, perfect. Creaminess. What you expect from a New England IPA. Bitterness is like very, very low. I just wish it had a bit more sweetness in it. Could have done that with some lactose, or maybe mashed it at a much higher temp or something, but yeah, I mean, I could just be being too critical on it, but it's a damn good beer. This is a really, really good beer. I think that if you would have had some sweetness on this, it would have been like off the charts. I already said it is off the charts on appearance. It's off the charts on the aroma. But the flavor is, I'm not underwhelmed. I'm just not as overwhelmed as I could be. I mean, that's a nice way to say it. Yeah. I just wish it had a little bit more bitterness on it. Very good though. I don't know how you got that. I need to figure out, I know it's the yeast. The yeast is probably the Conan, whatever one of the strains of the Conan yeast is to get that. But getting that suspension, I mean, man, normally stuff sits in a bottle while it drops out, but this is like, it's perfect suspension of the cloudiness, and I just don't, I've never been able to master that on a New England IPA. I wish I could, because it's really cool when you do. Damn good beer though. Wouldn't surprise me if this thing moves forward. It's a really good beer. Put some sweetness in it if you brew it again. I mean, probably going to brew this one again, I would imagine. I don't think you're going to see this video before you rebrew it, but rebrew it. But if you do, put some more sweetness in it. So anyway, that's all for this one. Hey, thanks to the brewer. I'm pretty sure you're going to go to the next round with this thing. If not, I'll be surprised. And man, thanks for entering the competition. This is awesome. Cheers. What's up there, brew tubers? Okay, here we go. SJPorr 2020 Challenge, round 2. This is Foxtrot 22, Romeo Delta 241 kilo. It is a style, BJCP style 28 Bravo and mixed fermentation. This has 8 pounds, 3 pounds of mixed berries, strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries. For hops, it's got Warrior, Mosaic, and Idaho Gem. It's a 5.8% ABV. This sounds fascinating. I'm assuming it's going to be like a purple color, given that it's got all these different berries in it. So let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. Purple color coming out. Oh, this is going to be a pretty beer. It is going to be a pretty beer. Look at that. Wow. That is beautiful. Yeah, you can see how clear it is. You can see the etching of the Cascade hop on the other side when you look at it through the glass. Well, I could see it. Yeah, there it is. You can see it. So anyway, appearance on this thing is like awesome. A little bit of chill haze in it, although it's clear. It's this beautiful kind of, I don't know, it's a very light purple, kind of pink. Yeah, looks just like it looks on the screen. You can see the carbonation streaming up through the nucleation point. It's got a nice little, more than a finger head, about a finger and a half, and nice pillowy bubbles. Not going anywhere. Not sure. Fixed fermentation. Or mixed fermentation. I wonder if it was like, was it lactobacillus? I wonder if they used some of that maybe. Aroma on this thing is really nice. We'll get the berries. That's all you smell is berries. And with the hops, you know, Idaho Gem. I can't remember what that's supposed to impart, but I imagine it's going to be kind of hard to pick that out in a lineup from all these berries. But all right, talk about this enough. Let's go ahead and take a sip. This is like a, it's not quite a Gosa. It's like a kettle soured, I think. So I would assume it's probably kettle soured with either like, you know, the probiotic stuff or lactobacillus, like an Omega yeast has a really good one that I like to use, and that's kind of what this reminds me of. Yeah, I'm gonna assume it's a lacto blend. Really digging this. Man, this is a really good style to pick for one of these competitions. It's super crushable. It's a beautiful beer. The flavors, because of the berries, is like awesome, and the aroma on this thing is just like everything is like intense. It's always hard to, when you have a sour or a Gosa, it's really hard to be comparable with those things in terms of just volume or intensity of aroma, and usually appearance, depending on the adjuncts they put in it. This kind of looks like pink lemonade or cranberry. It's a light cranberry color. And then just the aroma they get, and the huge flavor, because you know, in this one you got not only the kettle sour, which gives it a ton of flavor, but you also have the berries in there. Man, it's really good. I don't have to talk about this one a whole lot because it's a super beer. Thank you. I'll have to edit that out. But yeah, it's I think probably the best one I've had so far. One of these days, I'm gonna learn to brew a sour or a kettle sour for these competitions. Anyway, I have nothing else to say. I gotta edit that out too. It's an awesome beer. Cheers to the homebrewer. I'm gonna be very surprised if you don't go on to the next round. Cheers. All right, another 2020 SJPorr Challenge beer review. This is my 6th and second to last beer that I've reviewed. This is Alpha 37 Romeo Delta 2 96 Romeo. This is a milkshake IPA, 6% ABV. The adjuncts are flaked oats, lactose, mango. Hops were Simcoe Citra, know a lot about those two hops, and Mosaic. Haven't used that as much. Here is the label. It's in a can, which is always cool. A lot of people getting into cans these days. And like most of them, it's filled to the brim, which is not a bad thing on a Friday. All right, wow, this is pouring lovely. Cool thing about an IPA is you can pour the whole thing in there. Look at that. Now I was just saying on the last New England IPA I did, I don't normally get that nice light, soft, creamy color. This is the second one. Again, it's a little bit darker than the last one, but it's still like perfect style. A little bit darker, but it's still a perfect look for a New England IPA. It's got a nice one finger head that's like not going anywhere. It's staying there. You can never see the carbonation in a New England IPA normally because it's, well, cloudy. Yeah, the appearance looks nice. Let's go ahead and get a nose. Another bomb. So this has got flaked oats and lactose and mango in it. I think getting some mango on the nose. I'm definitely getting the Citra and Simcoe I know a lot about those two. I've got a triple on the tap behind me, behind my iPad here. That's got a lot of Citra and Simcoe in it. Yeah, beautiful nose on this. It smells like not only sticking your head in a bag of hops, but also throwing some mango in there. But not. I mean, what I like about this one, it's not too much mango, you know, because I've had some mangoes where it's like, you know, some IPAs where it's like, it's a little too much. This one's not. It's the perfect balance. So great fruity nose. What is this again? This is a 6%er, so it should have some depth to it, as I call it. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Cheers to the brewer. I would call this the perfect milkshake IPA. This thing has low IBUs. I mean, a little bit of bitterness there, but not anything to like, you know, it's like very low, smooth, just enough to let you know it's there. It's got a soft carbonation to it, which, you know, kind of like the last one, the last New England IPA I had in the lineup. Enough to kind of cream up on your tongue, which is, you know, kind of what you want. It's almost like I can perceive some vanilla in here, but it doesn't say they use vanilla, so I'm assuming it's not. But the lactose definitely, you know, kind of for that milkshake quality, gave it a little bit of that sweetness that I thought was a little bit missing from the last New England IPA. Really nice. There's also a little bit higher alcohol by volume in here, which would probably contribute to it to be just a little less sweeter as well, a little less sweet as well. Yeah, this is well done. I mean, man, these beers are like no joke. We got beers all over the place. Like tonight, so I started out with a mixed fermentation.
Mike, are we doing this thing on my phone, or what are we doing?
We can do it on your phone.
Or do you have your iPad down there?
Yeah, I'm doing a video right now.
Well, we only have like a few minutes.
Yeah, I'll be done. Maybe I'll leave that in. We're getting ready to do a video happy hour with, yeah, I can do the Zoom down here with this one. A video happy hour with some of our friends, so. All right, so I've already spent, you know, almost 6 minutes talking about, you know, the merits of this one. It's a really nice beer. Great thing for the, like I said, it's, man, really awesome taste. Good balance with the lactose and the flaked oats and the hops with the Citra and Simcoe and what's the other one in here? Mosaic. Again, I'm assuming you probably used like the Conan, one of the Conan type, you know, barbarian variants of yeast for the flocculation and the flake oats. And man, everything just works in here. The mango is just subtle enough to let you know it's there, but not drive everything else. It all blends together. The aroma on this thing blends together like really, really well. Man, this is a tough lineup. I can tell it's round 2. That just means if I make it to round 3, I'm a lucky man. Hey, cheers to the brewer. Thank you for your entry. This has been awesome. Yeah, I keep saying this. You know, I'd be surprised if you don't make it through, but now I'm saying that to more and more of the beers. So now it's going to be who's going to get it. So cheers. Thank you for this entry. You're a hell of a brewer. All right, here we go. This is the last beer of the challenge. It was a flurry of activity. I did 2 beers a night, and then today's Saturday. So I started Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, did 2 beers each, and then this is the last day, Saturday. This is my 7th one. This is, I don't have my glasses, but this is ID number Hotel 43 Romeo Delta 2, 6-3 November. This is a mango coconut New England IPA. Adjuncts are coconut and fresh frozen mango. Hops are Warrior, Citra, and Mosaic. It is a 8.5% beer, so it's a big one. Not much of a hiss. It's a very full bottle though. There's no headspace in this thing. I don't know how you get bottles that full. I cannot get my bottles that full because I use a Blickman beer gun and the process gives you some headspace and it doesn't let you fill it up all the way. But nevertheless, there it is. Not as much of a head as the other two New England IPAs that I did. I think it was 2 New England IPAs I did. So yeah, it's burning off pretty quickly. So it was like half a finger head and it's burning off. Color is, I don't know, kind of a dark yellow. Looks about what you see on the screen. Pretty hazy. Doesn't look like that light milky color that I don't think was, it's a little bit different. Like maybe got a little bit more clarity to it than, I mean, it's not clear, but looks a little bit different, not quite as milky as the other one. I think one of them was a milkshake New England IPA, so it had lactose in it. And the other one was a straight up New England IPA. So head is gone, so there's no head retention. All right, let's go ahead and get a nose. Man, this is interesting. It's not the big fruit bomb that I got with the other two. And this one's got Citra and Mosaic. I don't really get either. I don't get Citra or a Mosaic. I get vanilla. I don't think there's no vanilla in here. It's only frozen mango and coconut. Ah, it's a coconut. I'm getting a coconut in there. So it's not coconut. It's not vanilla. It's coconut. So that makes sense. The coconut and the vanilla are mixing together. I don't really get any of the hops, which is, I don't know if that's strange or not. But I do get slight coconut and mango mixed together, but it's not like a punch you in the face aroma. All right, there's the appearance, there's the aroma. Let's go ahead for a taste. Cheers to the brewer. So, I'm not a big fan of this one. I think that the, man, how do I describe this? It's not fruity enough. It's got hardly any sweetness to it. And it's got some kind of weird bittering thing going on the back end. And it almost tastes like it's oxidized. I don't get cardboard, but something about it is kind of flat. You know, not flat as in it's, I mean, the mouthfeel is, yeah, it's a little low of carbonation. It's hard to tell because now there's this weird kind of hot thing going on in the background, which is, it's not a smooth bittering. It's not even really a bittering. It's like kind of a, I don't know, a cacophony of stuff going on with the hops. But it's not fruity. It's kind of like the vegetable kind of quality. So it's not quite hot burn, but it's just, yeah, it's a little off-putting. So yeah, I think this one just went wrong. Not sure what happened to it, but I don't think, I mean, it looks the part with the exception of the kind of the carbonation or the head, but yeah, and now that, yeah, there's something funny going on. There's something funny going on with this one. I don't know what it is. You know, it's a shame that it happened in the second round, but yeah, something funny going on with this one. So not my favorite. Damn, I didn't want to end on this one. I didn't want to end on a low, it's not a low note, but it's not a high note. Yeah, I think that whoever the brewer of this one is, I think that something went wrong. I don't know if it's, I don't think it's an infection. It might be oxidation is kind of what I'm thinking it is. But it, because I've had that happen in, last year in the final round of the SJPorr Challenge. I don't know if it was oxidized. I kind of thought it was oxidized because the hop quality just was flat. And that's kind of the way I describe this. The hops are like not there at all. The only thing I'm getting in terms of the aroma, I'm certainly not getting Citron Mosaic. The only thing I'm getting in the aroma is that coconut mango, but even that's kind of muted. So I'm thinking that this one's oxidized. Would be my guess. And that might, I don't know. I don't know if it affected the color or not. The color looks kind of okay, but yeah, it's a shame because, yeah, second round. So sorry for the brewer. Yeah, so that's kind of what I pick up on this one. Guess there's nothing else to say. This has been a great SJPorr Challenge competition. Been some really, really good beers. It's going to be hard for me to, kind of discriminate between some of them because they're all like super good beers. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I hope I make it to the next round and get to taste even better beers, or the same beers in the final round. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks guys for watching, and have yourself a happy home. Cheers.